Hello everyone. Welcome to Clarity 16.4.0 Feature Supportability Training. I am Santosh Panchali and I am a product manager of Clarity. In this session, we'll review the key enhancements made in the financials area of Clarity. So, what's new in this release? As you may be already aware of, the actual or the posted transactions workspace supports showing amounts, that is, actual cost and actual revenue, in the home currency of the investment. And as a continuation to our journey of multi-currency support in the modern UX, this release we are exposing amounts pertaining to other types of currency, namely billing currency, reporting currency, and transaction currency. Next, few critical financial fields like units, percentage spent, etc., as well as several other financial variances like profit and net benefit have been added to the investment financials as timescale varying attributes. Also, several revenue and benefit related fields have been added to the roadmap items object. Last but not the least, all these new attributes are also available and synced to the data warehouse. And why are these enhancements necessary? Presenting costs and revenues directly in their native billing, transaction, or reporting currency is essential for multi-currency organizations, preventing manual conversion errors and enabling accurate, comprehensive financial insight. Enhanced with additional fields, our investment financials now deliver critical metrics like profit and net benefit, ensuring a precise and thorough financial understanding. And integrating these financial fields directly into roadmaps simplifies gaining an aggregate financial overview of all the investments. Now, let's check out these new metrics through a short demonstration. All right, I am now logged into Clarity, which is set up for multi-currency. Here, we have a few currencies activated in the system, including US dollar, USD, that we'll use to raise a transaction shortly. But first, let us review how the investment and currencies are set up. Here, we have a custom investment called computer peripherals of hardware investment type that has home currency set to pound sterling GBP and billing currency set to Australian dollar AUD. This investment is associated with an entity called business entity for which the reporting currency is set to Japanese yen. So, in effect, to summarize, for this investment, the home currency is GBP, billing currency is AUD, and the reporting currency is JPY. Keep these in mind as we review other details. As you may be already aware of, foreign exchange rates must be defined in the system for the effective dates of the transactions for the conversions to properly happen. And here is how the foreign exchange rates are set up in the system. USD to JPY, which is our reporting currency, is set with a conversion multiplication factor of 150. That is, 1 USD is equal to 150 JPY. Similarly, USD to GBP, which is our home currency of the investment, is set with a conversion factor of 0.75. And lastly, USD to AUD, which is our billing currency, with a conversion factor of 1.5. With this being set up, let's go ahead and review this manual transaction that has already been created for November 6th. Firstly, whatever was earlier referred to as cost is now renamed to cost rate. Similarly, whatever was earlier referred to as rate is now renamed to revenue rate for better clarity. So, this transaction is being raised for computer peripherals investment for a resource called computer equipment and seems like it is for a headset as per this notes. And the important details are these. For a quantity of 10 units at a cost or cost rate as it is newly referred to as of 100 and a cost rate currency of USD, that is at a cost of 100 USD, and at a rate or revenue rate, as it is newly referred to as, of 120 and revenue rate currency of USD, that is, at a rate of 120 USD, this transaction is being raised. Let us now post this transaction from Classic. Let's give the transaction date as November 6th. Apply. And here, there's one transaction. Should be the one that we just reviewed. Let us go ahead and post it. And now, let us check the actual or posted transactions grid. I have already filtered it here to only show the transaction we are interested in. And due to the sheer number of attributes, I have segregated attributes belonging to each currency type into their own logical views. Let us first review the transaction currency view. Here, we can see the transaction for computer peripherals investment for quantity of 10 units. As we can see, these new fields, transaction cost rate, transaction revenue rate, transaction currency code, transaction actual cost, and transaction actual revenue, are all new attributes available in this release. Since these are for the transaction amounts, it displays the cost rate as 100 and revenue rate as 120 and the transaction currency code as USD, the same that we have seen in the unposted transaction. And the transaction actual cost is calculated as 1000, which is quantity or units multiplied by cost rate. Similarly, the transaction actual revenue is calculated as 1200, which is quantity or units multiplied by revenue rate. Now, let us switch to billing currency view. Here, we can see the set of new 5 fields for the billing currency type. As we can expect, the billing actual cost and billing actual revenue are calculated based on the exchange rate set up for AUD. Similarly, let us check the reporting currency view. Here too, we can see the set of new 5 fields for reporting currency type. And as you would expect by now, the reporting actual cost, cost rate, reporting actual revenue, revenue rate are all calculated based on the exchange rate set up for JPY. Lastly, let us check the home currency view. Some of these fields, like actual cost, have existed earlier. However, cost rate was earlier called as unit cost and now renamed to cost rate. And these other fields like revenue rate, actual revenue are also now available in this release. And as we can see, the amounts are based on the exchange rate set up for GBP that is set with a conversion factor of 0.75. So, to summarize, fields for different types of currencies, namely billing currency, reporting currency, and transaction currency, are now made available in this release, in addition to a few home currency related fields that are also new to this release. Next, let's move on to the next topic, which is new financial fields added to cost plan details, investment financials, and roadmaps. Here is the list of new attributes added to the cost plan detail object as seen from the administration attributes grid. These are those attributes, all of them being calculated once with the description specifying the calculation used. For example, percentage spent, which is the actual cost divided by the cost. Profit, which is revenue minus the cost. Similarly, actual profit, which is the actual revenue minus the actual cost. I'll pause here for a moment so that you can review the other fields. Okay, now let's review the actual numbers for a few of them directly in cost plan details of a project. Here, for example, I'm in the cost plan details for a plan in the DPM loan app release 4.0 project. In this view, I can see the revenue and cost configured along with the profit. And as we can see for this record, for example, profit is shown as 405K around, which is the revenue minus the cost here. Similarly, here, which is a negative 45K, since revenue is zero in this case. It being a timescale varying field, you can also see it for various periods, like here. Let's check one more field by switching to another view. Here, actual profit is calculated as actual revenue minus actual cost, as can be seen here, and the period-wise spread of it. Next, let's review the fields added to investment financials object. There are quite a lot of these added to this object in this release, as can be seen here. And most of them are calculated fields, primarily variance fields, along with the description specifying what the calculation is. For example, this field, budget net benefit, which is budget benefit minus the budget cost. Similarly, budget actual net benefit, which is the budget actual benefit minus the actual cost, and so on and so forth. I'll slowly scroll the list of these attributes. You may pause the video as needed to review each of these and their descriptions by yourself. Okay, now we'll quickly review some of these in the investments. In this view, I have configured percentage spent, which is the actual cost divided by the planned cost. For example, for this project, percentage spent is shown as 17%, which is 70K divided by around this 422K. And the corresponding periodic data also can be seen here as they are all timescale varying fields. Similarly, in this view, we have budget to actual cost variance, which, as you can guess, is budget cost minus the actual cost and can be seen here in totals as well as in periods. All of these details are documented in the Clarity product documentation that you may review as needed. Lastly, let's review the fields added to the roadmap object. Again, there are quite a few of them. Some of them are fields that are synced from the corresponding investments, and some of them are calculated fields, like the budget benefit, planned actual revenue, planned revenue, etc., which are fields that can be synced from the linked investments in the roadmap, and others like budget profit and planned net benefit, etc., that are calculated fields with the calculation specified in the description. Let me slowly scroll the entire list so that you may review them by yourself. Okay, now let's look at them in an actual roadmap. Here, in this roadmap view, I have configured planned net benefit, which, as we saw earlier, is benefit minus the total cost, as can be seen here in totals as well as in periods. Also, the sync screen has been updated to sync these additional fields from the linked investments, like these fields: planned revenue, planned actual revenue, budget actual benefit, etc. Like I mentioned earlier, you should be able to learn more about these even from the Clarity product documentation. In addition, all these fields that we reviewed in this session, except the ones in actual or posted transactions, are also available in the data warehouse, so that report designers can build powerful reports out of these fields. Details of these fields added to the data warehouse too can be learned from the product documentation. I highly encourage you to review them as needed. This concludes the session on enhancements made to financials in Clarity Release 16.4.0. Thank you.